Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into the microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Deus Ex Human Revolution Blind. Now, I've watched the tutorials again, and it turns out there is a possibility of knocking a person out unconscious without killing them, but apparently you need augmentations for that, and it uses your energy. So it might be that it wasn't possible in the tutorial because Jensen didn't have the augmentations at that time.
It's been tough on everyone these past few months, especially in the new temporary lab. People keep complaining to me, telling me they feel like they're locked in a quarantine room.
I know the security protocols are heavy, but we have no choice. Look what's going on at the plant right now.
You're right, but it's not just the isolation. It's a lack of leadership. Megan held everyone together so well. She was always the voice of reason.
I miss Megan too, Heather. That's why I make it a point to fight through the stress and try to finish the work she started.
You're right, I know. It's just, sometimes it feels like we're hanging on by a thread. I just hope David gets that.
Oh, so is Megan dead then? Like, obviously, Jensen himself barely survived. I'm trying to get to Pritchard, the IT guy, because he's supposed to fix my augmentations before I go and talk to...
We're still recovering from the first...
Before I go and talk to... Oh, that's my office. I don't think I have a time for that. Am I on the wrong floor? I'm pretty sure... technology lab. Pretty sure he said second floor. Not first, but...
I don't know. Why is David keeping the SWAT team from going in right away? Doesn't he remember the last attack?
You can't compare the two. Those guys were obviously military. These ones are just vandals.
Vandals with guns and bullets that kill people.
Look, David cares about his people, but he needs to protect his clients' interests. Don't worry, I'm sure he's got a plan.
Yeah, I guess his plan involves me. Frank Pritchard, okay, that's correct. Okay, that's weird. I'm not sure what function does that serve. Like, those are all old CRT monitors. I don't think I have the time to rumble through his... office, but I guess I'm going to anyway. What does he have here? Electric system laws, the same books as before, and the DX hat, also the same. He has a motorcycle inside his office, which seems like a weird choice, if you ask me. Like, shouldn't it be in a garage or something? Wait, Final Fantasy 27. So I guess Pritchard's a weeb, and I'm not sure which part we're on currently. I think it's like 22 or something like that. I admit I'm not a fan of Final Fantasy, and by that I do not mean that I don't like that I hate it. I simply don't know it. Augmentation, extended. I can take his credit card, but that seems like an awfully sketchy and straight up jerk-ass thing to do, so I'm not going to do that. Can't read his computer. Obviously, as a security expert, he probably has it locked under a password, unlike Megan. But he has an ebook, Nature of Neuroplasticity, from Hugh Darrow. Again, this guy must be somehow important. Flexibility of a brain to reorganize itself based on experience. How memories can be enhanced.
Frank tells me he's still waiting for you, Adam? You don't have time to mess around. Get to the tech lab, or something seriously bad is gonna happen.
So I guess it talks about how the brain can adjust to the use of augmentations, but I'm not sure if I better talk to Pritchard.
About time. What happened? You get stuck in an air duct on the way over?
Yeah, nice to see you too, Francis. Something's wrong with my retinal display. Can you fix it?
If it's what I think it is, probably. Of course, it might. Looks like your left and right imaging processors weren't completely in sync. But don't worry, your Sentinel health implant will kick in soon, repairing any damage that might have caused. Your retinal display should be fine now. Its recognition software won't be picking up hostiles yet, but you should be seeing radar and targeting reticules. Biomedical data too, if you're in pain.
Right. We done here? Because Sarif is waiting for me at the helipad.
I know. Radicals have broken into our manufacturing plant and taken hostages.
Oh.
Maybe this time you'll actually save people.
Okay, that's a little bit of a dick move.
If you got a problem with me, Pritchard, why don't you just say it and get it over with?
Why no, Jensen? I don't have a problem with you. If anything, I blame myself.
The mighty Pritchard blaming himself. That's gotta be a first.
I'm the one who told Sarif we needed a physical security team to protect us. If he'd read my report closely enough.
Wait a second. Are you saying it was your idea to hire me?
Not you, Jensen. I wanted Dynacore, Sharp Edge, or Bell Tower. All the top private security contractors were on my list, but Sarif wanted somebody in-house. And so did Dr. Reed.
Oh, so he thinks I was hired because I was close with Megan, which might actually be true. I don't really have time.
Lucky for you, I'm gonna ignore that comment.
To
done here.
Argue with him, because I'm not sure if there's an actual time limit on this mission. Because earlier, you know, both Megan and Sarif were like talking about how I should hurry up, but nothing ever came from it. But this time, I don't want to risk the helipad. I don't want to risk the hostages.
Adam, how close are you to the helipad?
Almost there.
Good. Because SWAT's about to turn this into a PR nightmare. Meet me in the chopper. I'll brief you as we go.
I don't want to risk the hostages getting hurt, so I think I'm just going to go. Hopefully, I will have an opportunity to go back to this location and explore it fully. From what I understand, I still work at this place. I even saw Adam Jensen's office. So I guess this is the pilot.
Welcome back, Jensen. Didn't think we'd see you around here for a while yet.
You know how it goes, Malik. Duty calls.
Don't I know it? I was in my wingsuit halfway to the top of the Renaissance Center when I got the 911. But you? 6 months is a hell of a short time to come back from the dead. You sure you're ready for this?
Only one way to find out.
Roger that. The boss is already on board, arguing with the DPD's tactical response team. They've got the plant surrounded, but Mr. Sarif wants you to go in first. Are you all set here? Because the sooner we take off, the better it will be for everyone.
Okay, I think I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Great. Then let's get airborne.
As I said, I don't want to risk anything going wrong because I spent too long staring at Pritchard's book collection or something like that. Like, there was nothing at stake in those previous scenarios. It was just Megan nagging me, but this time there are actual people that are being threatened with getting killed.
I told Farida to put us down on a roof. I don't want the crowd seeing you go in.
Fine. As long as she pulls you out the minute I'm gone. So what am I looking at here? Who are these guys?
Pro-human purists, or so they say. The same purists who've been firebombing limb clinics all over the country.
You buy that?
No, I don't think it's a coincidence they hit us today, only hours after we moved the Typhoon in for assembly line factory.
The Typhoon? Megan's team was testing it the day that bastard... Who's on point for these guys?
Adam, I know you and Megan were once...
Who is on point for these guys?
Goes by the name of Sanders. That's him, there. He's an augmented Adam, so he can't be one of the mercs who attacked us, but he did know exactly how to get inside our plant.
All right. So how do you want me to handle this?
First priority is the Typhoon. I'm keeping SWAT out until you've secured it. As far as rules of engagement go, I'll defer to you. Lethal or non-lethal?
Oh yes, I definitely want the non-lethal route, if it's possible.
I'm not looking to start a firefight in there, just neutralize them.
Okay, but just make sure those bastards don't wake up and warn their friends. You remember what it's like in there? A lot of tight enclosed hallways, but the labs themselves are pretty open, high ceilings. So, do you want something you can use from a distance, or up close?
Now, from what I understand from the tutorials, I can knock people unconscious even with my fists. At least I think so, provided I have enough energy for my augmentations. So I think I'm going to take the tranquilizer gun because it seems just more convenient.
Give me something with distance. If I get too close, I'll take them out personally.
Just try not to break anything expensive. The Typhoon should be in the factoring labs, but Pritchard will tell you more as you go in. I've got him running comms.
Terrific. Anything else?
Keep your eyes open for hostages. Free them if you can, but the Typhoon is your #1 priority. We developed it for the Alphabet agencies, and if we don't deliver it to them intact and still a secret, well, I'm sure you'll get the job done right.
Gentlemen, prepare for landing.
Yeah, Jensen is channeling his inner JC by wearing freaking sunglasses at night, which again, I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that. It's awfully like dorky and kind of edgelordy, but then again I have a strange soft spot for JC in general. Like I always loved his delivery because it was so deadpan that it was, I think, unintentionally humorous, although maybe it was actually intentional and I just didn't consider it that way. Now, what did I want to talk about? I think it's a little bit sad how Sarif seems to consider his company secrets being worth more than the lives of the hostages. I sure will try to save the hostages if I can. Oops, didn't want to do that. Okay, so I have a tranquilizer gun with 10 darts.
Look at this. They're sending in a can opener to do a man's job. Those Purity First assholes are just gonna love this.
What's your problem? Like, are the policemen...
You ready to go in? Good. Seen a few of them coming out for a smoke every now and again, so be careful.
Are the policemen prejudiced against augmented people as well? Energy bar. I guess I can grab it. I think it, if I remember one of the tutorials correct, it replenishes my energy. Okay, from now on, I am going to listen to all of the tutorials, just because I don't want to miss any crucial game mechanics or misunderstand something. That's a pretty weird logo. It's almost like a meme face or something. And I will just... Wait, why are you showing me this again? I just watched this. And I will cut them out in editing so that you don't have to watch them. Facts Sarif, okay. So I guess they obviously aren't fans of Sarif Industries and of Sarif himself, it seems.
Tell me you're the guy we've been twiddling our thumbs waiting for.
SI Security. Name's Jensen.
Jensen. Yeah. I thought I recognized you. Used to be on Team 2 till that Mexican town thing went down. I gotta say, you're the last person I pictured taking orders from a CEO.
Things change.
Not always for the better. Feel like getting in there and doing whatever it is your boss wants you to do? Because maybe then we can do our job.
Okay, tell me about the hostages.
We've got people inside. Any idea where I should look for them?
Yeah. Your plant manager, Josie Thorpe, managed to slip a call out before someone snatched her cell. She said the hostages are being held in an office near the assembly labs.
Makes sense. The workers were setting up for a production run, so they'd have been concentrated there.
You know more about that than I would. Anything else?
Intel on these purists. How much you got?
How much you want?
How many am I looking at down there?
Hard to say. We've spotted 3 in the courtyard, maybe half a dozen inside. But that's a sketchy estimate at best, since we seem to be getting a loop playback off your IntelliCams.
That shouldn't be possible. I told Sarif to make sure Pritchard overhauled the system.
Well, someone inside must be tech savvy, because all we're seeing is a loop. For all we know, there could be 5, 10, or 3 dozen perps in there.
They communicate any demands yet?
Not yet, but I get the feeling they're not that organized. Most of the guys I've seen look like street bangers and thugs. The kind who get their jollies trashing equipment. You ask me, it's the man in charge you have to worry about.
The leader's name is Sanders, right? What's his story?
Zeke Sanders. We're running background on him now. Looks like he fought 2 tours in the Gulf. One of them on a recycled military bill.
You mean he's augmented? Sarif told me he's not.
He used to be augmented. Says his augs made him do evil shit, so he ripped him out. Now he's got a whole crew of gullible street kids listening to his crap and ready to die for him. Or kill.
So he's a veteran then?
I think I've heard enough.
You sure? Wouldn't want to make your boss unhappy.
You look pretty dug in up here. What's the react team plan?
We got Alpha as point and Bravo as wing, both standing by to breach the target. We're coordinating from here, but until your boss gives us the go-ahead, we're just holding our dicks.
Realistically, how much time do I have before any shooting starts?
According to protocol, none. According to your lawyers, the sooner you get in there, the sooner we can hose this powder keg down and call it a day.
Okay.
I got it from here. Sit tight. Wait for Sarif's signal.
Like we got a choice.
Okay, so a couple of things. Apparently, at least this guy knows Jensen personally back from when Jensen himself worked as a SWAT officer.
About fucking time. You know there are hostages in there, right?
Yeah?
About time you got here. This tour will take you to another roof overlooking the loading docks. Best way in. Now hurry.
And also, I wanted to comment about how it seems to me, painkillers, okay, I'll take them. Definitely seems like a useful item. It seems to me like a cardboard box move. Okay, can't do anything with this. Looks to me like Jensen has...
Jensen, it's me, Pritchard. Where are you?
On a roof overlooking the plant.
Good. Your point of entry should be through shipping and receiving.
Should be, Francis. What the hell does that mean?
We have an employee entrance there, heavily guarded by purists, no doubt. So, if you're not a fan of the frontal assault, I suppose you could try accessing the building's roof.
It seems to me like Jensen has almost like a product label on his forehead, on his brow. He has some numbers or like a serial number or something, which is pretty weird and horrible when you think about it, you know, that he's been so mechanized that he's partially considered like probably someone's intellectual property, you know. His arguments are like a commercial product, so he has straight up advertisement on his freaking face. That's a little bit crazy and sad, but I guess it totally fits the overall themes of a cyberpunk setting, you know. People... Okay, again, I think I'm going to watch that in its entirety, just that I don't miss anything. I will cut it out in post, though, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, it seems I actually watched that one on my own, in the menu. It's actually the one that tells you about knocking people out. So let's test that hypothesis. Q for non-lethal. Okay, merciful soul. Yeah, and he has like a small Z icon on his body, indicating that he's just unconscious instead of dead. It's a little bit annoying how... okay, search. It's a little bit annoying how the tutorial keeps flashing, even though... Anything up here? Even though I already watched it, I try not to steal from law-abiding people, but I consider people who are straight up trying to kill me and my colleagues from work to be pretty much fair game. I do have to get the funds for my augmentations, weapons and whatever from somewhere, so I don't feel particularly guilty about taking the money of the guys that actually want to kill me. I'll try to conserve the ammo for the tranquilizer rifle, and if I can, I'll try to take the guys out quietly. I mean, not quietly, that's obvious, but I wanted to say directly from close up, but I don't think this is a viable option in this case, so I think I'll take this. Oh, he went back, so I can... Oh, there are 3 of them. I totally didn't notice the other guy, so I think I'm screwed actually. Or maybe not. It's weird that he didn't hear that. It has been so close. Okay, I'll take the ammo just because maybe I can sell it later or something. I'll try to... I'll take the pistol as well. If it turns out I can't sell it, it might be a last-ditch weapon, you know, in case I absolutely have to, like, destroy a bot or something, because I assume the tranquilizer rifle isn't going to work about that. I mean, on that. It's pretty weird that they didn't hear this guy getting knocked out. Does he have a noose on his... That's weird. Okay, that's not a noose, but it almost looks like one. It was pretty loud overall, so... So I'm not sure how did they not notice that. Frick, the other guy noticed me, right? I think I've heard him commenting. Oops. Okay, definitely wasn't expecting that. He either thrown a grenade or I was standing near some kind of combustible substance. Okay, I think I'll utilize one shot to take one of them down and then take the other one from up close. Frick, did I miss? Nope. Okay, and then this guy. Yeah, it's an explosive barrel, right? It's even red, as they often are in games.
You son of a bitch!
Frick.
You gonna die, Slick!
Okay, I think I'm actually screwed.
Go ahead!
It seems I can take them out even in direct combat, provided I have enough energy left. So that's good to know. Okay, search. Nothing. I don't think hiding the bodies matters that much at this point, because it seems all of them from outside are offline now. Those are pretty weird trucks. I wonder if they are like autonomous vehicles without an actual driver inside. Anyone else? The police? I guess they are waiting for me. I'll search. I'll take the pistol, as I said, because maybe I can sell it later on or something. This guy, does he have anything? A bit of money. Save.
Pritchard, I'm in. The door worked just fine.
I'm happy for you. The Typhoon is in the factoring labs. There's an elevator just past the assembly labs that will take you to it.
Got it.
Concussion grenade. Okay, that's certainly useful for my kind of approach. How many of them? One here. Damn it, that was a prime opportunity to take him down, actually. He was pretty close. Okay, I can go in here, but I would prefer to take them down first.
Looks like something moving around over there.
Okay.
Yo, if you in here, you better come out.
Wait, I think he saw me, like, judging from what he said. Okay, and I think there's only one. Oh no, there are actually two left, so I think I need to...
You son of a bitch!
Ah, okay, freak. Not enough energy, apparently.
You heard it? Now you go.
I think I might be screwed.
Start running, you bastard! Now you gonna pay. You heard it? I see you, bro.
Apparently my health is automatically regenerating, which I'm not a fan of as far as mechanics go in games, but I don't exactly have a choice in that.
I see you, Crow. Shit.
Okay.
Go ahead and run. I see you, Crow.
Okay, definitely need to manage my takedowns better, because I'm almost... let me see... Apparently he doesn't take the pistols, he just takes the ammo after the first one. But I'm almost out of tranquilizer darts for the rifle, so I need to... stun gun darts. Now, do I even have a stun gun? Examine. Capable... if any stun gun type weapon. Yeah, I don't think I have a... would that work? Silencer? Nope, that's a different kind of thing entirely. Now let me test if eating that energy bar will actually replenish my energy. Yep. So I guess that's also something I should keep in mind, because once I tried to take a guy down and I couldn't because I was too low on energy. And I definitely need to manage my takedowns a little bit better, because I'm almost out of the darts and I definitely don't want to kill them, sinners. So I guess it's at least partially a religious opposition to the project, to the argumentation as well. Sarif Industries crossed out. Just no. Okay, there's the shotgun. I don't... Remote detonated explosive device. Okay, that might be useful for like fighting bots. Shotgun cartridges later on. I guess I can take the shotgun for now. I still have some space left. Maybe I can sell it to someone. And as I said, in the worst case scenario, maybe I can use it against some bots or like security turrets or something like that, you know, non-organic targets. So I'm getting those tranquilizer, those stun gun darts, but I don't have a stun gun, so that's definitely a problem. I should look around for one. I want to check this area over here. Authorized personnel only. I'm not sure if I am authorized, but I don't think that particularly matters at this point in time. I wonder if there's a time limit on this mission. Like, if I wander around too much, will they kill the hostages? Combat rifle ammo, revolver ammo. Okay, I'm going to take it all for now. Only when I am out of inventory space, I will start to throw things out. Okay, it's another edition of this newspaper. I don't recognize any of those names from the previous game. So there are some references here to the automotive industry crash. I mean, not a crash, but like a crisis in Detroit. I admit I'm not overly familiar with that. I'm not an American myself, but I've certainly heard those words thrown around together, you know, automotive industry and Detroit and crisis. So apparently Detroit is not the best place to live in at this point in time now, but it seems they wanted to change it in the Deus Ex universe, at least according to, because obviously that's what a CEO of a company would say. Anyway, regardless if it's true, it's just good for business to claim good intentions. Resist the machine. We are the purity first. Reject the metal. Embrace yourself. Half-human cyborgs taking jobs. It's always the same spiel, regardless if you're talking about immigrants, augmented people, or actual machines. No, coming over here, taking our jobs. Sick of cogs who mutilate themselves. Now, I think it's a very short-sighted way to look at it, because for many people, this is a great opportunity, especially for like disabled people or elderly or people who are seriously ill. I am not overly sympathetic to this line of thinking, even if it were expressed in a peaceful way, but even less so when they are straight up killing people. Like, that's so backwards when you think about it. They are all, oh, we want to protect humanity from degeneration. We want to protect the human, like, form, but at the same time as they are saying this, they are killing actual people over this. So it's nonsense to me. Yeah, physical limitations are what makes us human. That's very easy to say when you are an able-bodied adult, but when, for example, you know, one of your legs is missing, or you have a spinal injury that prevents you from moving at all, it all becomes like it's a straight-up cruel thing to say to like a disabled person, that it's your limitations that make you human, and even if you had a choice of upgrading yourself, you know, of bettering your life through the use of technology, you can't because of some archaic notions of human purity. That's crap to me. And I think, in a way, I might be speaking from a personal place, because I myself am mildly disabled. Like, I have a very mild case of cerebral palsy, and while I am completely self-sufficient and I can pretty much do everything other people can do on my own, just a little bit worse, that definitely made me more reflective upon the idea of disability, because I've met a lot of disabled people throughout my life, as when I was having surgery for my problems, and then also attending physical therapy for years. And a lot of them had a lot more severe problems than I do, and as I said, I'm not at all receptive to this kind of thinking, even if it was a peaceful protest of sorts. So I wonder how the game will spin the purity, the purity fanatics, if they will receive any kind of sympathetic angle, and if they will manage to make me change my mind at some point. At this point, I totally don't sympathize with them, even disregarding the fact that they are killing people, which is obviously my biggest problem. I probably shouldn't be spending time reading people's emails while their facility is under attack, but I just can't help myself. That's the way I usually play games. New copper wire, overtime. Now Athene, I think, is like Sarif's secretary or something. I seem to remember her from, yeah, executive assistant from the intro. There's some crunch going on regarding the recent orders from the military. The Typhoon, if I remember correctly, is that like grenade launcher they showcased in the intro. Tranquilizer darts. Oh, that's great, actually. That's superb. I definitely needed those, so it's a good thing I looked around for them. Anything up here? It looks like far too... Seems there's nothing here, which is definitely a surprise for me. Could have sworn a place such as this would be good to store something. But I'm definitely glad I found those darts, at least. That's it. That's a huge potential help going forward. And there was another ladder somewhere around here. I think over there. Yeah, I guess there's nothing here. At least at first glance. I really hope the hostages... Oh, there is. Totally would have missed that, which would have been a huge mistake. I hope the hostages are not going to die because I spent so much time looking around at insignificant stuff. Wait, which way am I supposed to go? There is also lobby and shipping. Okay, I guess the lobby would be near the entrance.
Give me an excuse, and none of these body polluters gets out of here alive. You hear me?
I guess this is like a...
Taking a stand for the human race. This is self-defense.
This is like a turret, right? It's repairing it. I think I'm going to shoot one of them and then take down the other. Wait, did I miss?
Thought I saw something. Who's over there?
Okay, that's... Frig. Okay, that was embarrassing. That's definitely embarrassing. Hugely embarrassing, I would even say. I could have sworn I hit him. I think I'm going to take one of them down using the tranquilizer rifle and the other one manually, provided the turret is actually not on, because he was working on it and I'm not sure if it's operational or not. It doesn't seem to matter which area of the body I target, so I'll just go for the torso, because it's a little bit more...
Rush this place, I dare you! We've got a little surprise for you in here!
Okay, so I guess the turret is not operational. That's good to know. Stun gun, which I still don't have, but at least when I do get it, I will have plenty of ammunition for it, which is definitely good. So I guess this is the entrance to the building, and judging from the fact it has been described as the lobby. Again, it's probably not the best time for it, but I can't help myself but to explore the various computers, so let's do that. Josie Torp, that's the manager of this particular factory, right? Typhoon system, thank you for your hard work. 24/7 schedule. Well, at least they are getting paid additionally for getting overtime. So apparently one of the workers' dad is like opposed to Sarif or something. It says here he refuses to see the work you do as good. So that's definitely something that's interesting and sort of with a lot of dramatic potential, you know. If, for example, it turns out that one of those purity guys is actually a relative of one of the people working here, and they are on opposite sides, and the one is trying to kill the other over some ideological differences and quality standards. Greg Thorpe. So I guess he's related to her, maybe her husband or... Review the manufacturing standards. Blah blah blah, so nothing overly interesting. I'll save. Oh, apparently I could have moved that if maybe I had the proper argument. So that's probably for later on in the game. I already searched them. Okay, it's a little bit confusing to me how they do not hear me taking down those guys. Like, it's pretty obviously it's not as loud as a gunshot, but it's still pretty loud. Okay, it's the other entrance from here, so that's good to know. There's one guy there. I do not have enough energy because I think I need a full battery for a single takedown, so I'm going to take the other one of those. Where are them? The other one of those. Now I should have enough to take down this guy. I hope there are no more guys in this particular room, but I don't see anyone, so it should be okay. I'll wait for him to turn, and then... Okay. Burn in hell. That isn't particularly nice. Okay, whiskey. I'm going to take all of the items as I said, until I still have the inventory space, because maybe I can sell them, or maybe I can use them in quests later on, like, you know, give somebody a bottle of whiskey in exchange for information or something. So only when I am out of inventory space I'm going to start throwing the items out. I guess this is like a cafeteria. There's a radio or a TV somewhere nearby. Over here.
I don't blame you. I don't hate you because you work at or Sarif Industries or wherever the fuck Inc. I know they don't tell you anything. You don't know anything. How are you supposed to know that this uncontrolled technology will be the death of us all? Nobody is asking your opinion on how these augs should be priced. David Sarif is not walking around the plant asking employees whether they should drop the prices so that the poor people of this world can have a fair shot. The limb clinic drug pushers aren't asking Joe and Bob in the knob polishing department whether they should find an alternative cure for transplant rejections or just keep pumping neuropazine into these hopeless bastards. My point is, followers, don't stand outside of biotech plants and start stoning the workers. Why? Because they are no different from you. You have been manipulated as much as they have. Let's band together and gun straight for the top. The Illuminati followers, the Council of Five, the Bilderbergs. These are the criminals. Problem is, we gotta find them first.
Okay, so it's a little bit... I didn't catch the start of this audition, but it's a little bit ironic because it was one of those, like, purity, maybe not fanatics, but sympathizers, you know, an opponent of augmentation. But his message, I imagine this was not the Zig Sanders that's attacking the facility, because his message was actually, well, definitely more reasonable than theirs, because he was saying about how the workers themselves, you know, the lower-ranking factory personnel, are not responsible for anything because they just want to get paid and support their families, and they do not make any of the decisions regarding the prices and the actual inner working of the augmentation. They
In touch with some of our attachés out in Australia, I have to reiterate some things. I want to talk to the people who work on the floors of the manufacturing plants of these biotech cores. Listen, I don't blame you.
Okay, it's repeating. So it didn't tell me who that is, but as I said, it's a little bit ironic for that audition, you know. Do not blame the ordinary worker. Do not. He said something about do not throw stones at them. They are just ordinary people like you, and it's pretty ironic for that audition to be playing in the midst of a terrorist attack by purity fanatics that are doing the exact opposite of that. You know, taking ordinary factory workers as hostages. It's probably not the best time to take a dump either. It's an interesting, I guess, mirror. It has advertisements on the sides of it, and I guess it has like a camera that would display you over here, but I'm not sure why it doesn't do that. I guess that's just to save processing power. Mirrors are notoriously difficult to implement properly in games, and the more complicated the graphics, the more resources does it need to display, you know, the reflexive image in the mirror. So I guess that's why it isn't working. Sleepwalking world, wake up. So I guess it's like it's an article about government secrets and all that. And Area 51 in particular has long been a subject of conspiracy theories, even in our timeline today. So I guess it still hasn't been totally resolved. Oops, I wasn't expecting that. I think I should have enough for one more takedown, right? Okay, here's some ammo. I need to wait for my batteries to replenish a little before going forward, because I don't have enough energy to take any of them down when I... Okay, there's like a locker room over here, which I probably should explore as well. Probably should look around first to see if there are no... I'm not going to steal from actual Sarif employees. I'll just take my money from the terrorists themselves. I do admit it's somewhat of a double standard, because they are still protected by, you know, law, and I am not. Even if I were a policeman, I still couldn't just take their stuff, but it's a video game. I have to simplify my thinking a little. I am going to take those, though, because it's going to help me a lot. And I am trying to save their lives, so they might give me a little bit of leniency in that regard. Okay, anything else here? Revolver ammo, don't particularly need that. combat rifle, some papers which I can't read, and a door to a storage closet of sorts. Can I... I guess I could have reached that from some other location. I just didn't notice at first. Doesn't look like there's anything I can pick up here. And I can't utilize the ladder, which seems like a wasted opportunity, if you ask me, but I understand it would be difficult to program it correctly for it to position itself next to the vent in such a way that it looks natural. Okay, so where now? I'm pretty sure it's over here now.
Jensen, I just tried to unlock the assembly lab door, but my override codes aren't working. Someone's changed the protocols.
What? Didn't you plug the...
I'm on it, but until I find this particular breach and fix it, you'll have to hack the door manually. Pritchard out.
Okay. Okay, I'm definitely going to watch that, just so that I know what I'm doing, but as I said, I'm going to cut it out, so... Okay, so the hacking, at least at first glance, seems definitely more complicated than it did in Deus Ex 1 and Invisible War, where you just pretty much clicked and, depending on your hacking level, it just displayed a progress bar. I'm not sure if I understood it correctly, but I guess I'll see in practice. So I guess I'm supposed to... this is my entry point then, right? Or this? Yeah, this is my entry point then, and I'm supposed to capture those. And this is the the end point, right?
Access granted.
To be honest, that didn't really explain as much as I would have liked, as it was so I guess it's deliberately designed as the easiest one as a tutorial. But it was over so quickly that I didn't really experience all of the different possibilities. There wasn't like a timer, because the tutorial was talking about a timer that you had when you get detected. So I guess I'll just figure it out as I go. But overall, this episode I think has been long enough, so I guess what I'm going to do is save here, and that's all for this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!